You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm thy friendship. Oh,
you know what time it is. Raw with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lames. And it's Buckeyes by a billion. We in the building with over 100,000. We represent from the uttermost to the public housing. And if we don't play, our wide receivers got your secondary shook, so they cook them like Bobby Flay. Hey, stay out of my way and trust me, cause I know it's OH. Somebody please give this brother an IO. Come
on. What is up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm Devin, and boy, we got some good news coming our way. Hopefully, here live right now, we got Guilford, wide receiver, the #1 player out of Indiana, committing live at 5:30 on the 247 YouTube channel. We're going to stream that on here as well and sit here and hang out until that decision is made. Appreciate you guys showing up, man. Excited to be here. Hit that like button if you haven't done that already. Hit that subscribe button as well. And here we are. If you got some questions, put them in the chat. We just kind of chilling right here. We got, 12 minutes till it goes. I got some highlights here I'm going to pull up of him and get those playing until his live commitment starts. But let's dive into a few things first real quick. This is Brian Hartline trying to add a 5th receiver to this class already. We've kind of talked about Quay a couple times on this channel. Funky was on here as well, and he said that his source told him that Ohio State considers him the #2 receiver in this class right now, which is kind of wild. Nowhere near that in the recruiting rankings. But again, man, if you watch this channel at all, don't really pay much attention to the recruiting rankings on here. I would much prefer Brian Hartline's evaluation over anybody's in the entire nation. So it's kind of wild, man. I've seen a lot of, wide receiver recruiting classes, but this one here is absolutely loaded. We got Chris Henry, 6'5", 205. I think everybody's well aware of Chris Henry and who he is, 6'5", 205. On 247 composite, he's the number 18 player nationally, the #3 wide receiver. Used to be the #1 player in the nation. Got injured, didn't really play a lot his season, so they moved down there. And then Caden Dixon-Wyatt, I'm very familiar with Caden Dixon-Wyatt. Been on the show, went to the OT7 event with SFE. And got to see him, and there was Tristan Keys was there. I mean, there were, freshmen up to senior wide receivers there throughout the entire nation. And watching Caden Dixon-Wyatt, I consider him, a top 3 receiver at the OT7 event. And it was kind of crazy, man, is when you dive into, Caden Dixon-Wyatt, he'll tell you, he doesn't really train. There's no specific wide receiver training in his repertoire right now. So everything you see in his highlight film for him is all just straight natural ability, which is absolutely wild. Then you got Jaden Ricketts, homegrown wide receiver out of Ohio, 6 foot 187. And then you got Brock Boyd, who puts up absolutely crazy numbers in some of the best competition in the state of Texas. I'm going to play this again for you guys to watch this. So to add another wide receiver in this class, especially a wide receiver that the staff thinks so highly of with their evaluation with him, this would be big time, man. So I'm excited for that. I see Steely in the chat. Lucia, Kristen, Matt, appreciate you guys for joining. Again, any questions? We got like 9 minutes, 8 minutes now. It's been a good day, man. Been a good day here. Been working my butt off, man. Raining and working and moving and the whole 9 yards. Hey, my next couple shows, be prepared. All this stuff behind me might just disappear. What up, Russ? It's going to, because I'm going to be moving. So there's a couple little things down already. So don't get too upset when I got a crappy background for the shows. You know, it's funny because you get a lot of people that are pretty, you watch defensive line recruiting and they say, well, Brian Hartline is still winning these recruitments, without top nil dollar, right? Because Quay was supposed to commit a while ago, and he was going to commit to the Buckeyes, and then Ole Miss swooped in with a pretty big amount. And Ohio State, Brian Hartline ended up talking him into holding off his recruitment. And now we come to this time here. And the information I have is there's been a couple teams, Ole Miss still at him pretty hard, throwing bags his way. I heard Penn State came in and offered him a pretty big bag. But, I still expect good news for the Buckeyes. If you look at his, 247 over there, this show they got pulled up says between Ohio State and Ole Miss, and I still expect that to be Ohio State. But you watch this dude's film, there's a lot to be excited about, man. Very smooth receiver. For me, when I watch him play, I don't know why I see it. What's up, Sue? Nice to see you. It just reminds me of Carnell Tate, man. And I could be way off there. Again, I'm not the best at like evaluating film and breaking those down. I don't claim to be some expert here at breaking film down. I do spend a lot of time trying to get better at it. And I'd venture to guess I probably watch a lot more film than your average fan, because I'm really into the recruiting side of things. But yeah, again, irrelevant what I think, irrelevant what anybody else thinks, irrelevant what the recruiting rankings think. Brian Hartline, with 4 receivers already committed, is going after this receiver big time. And not only that, you look at the 2027 class of receivers that, Brian Hartline is in on. It's elite, man. It's elite. Like, you look at it now and you wonder how you're going to have room for these elite guys coming in that want to come to Ohio State, because we just saw Garrett Wilson's new contract. Is he currently the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL? Is that what I read? I don't know if I read that correctly or not, but you still got some Buckeyes up and coming. Terry McLaurin got to figure out his contract as well. So there's a lot of reasons, if you're a wide receiver, to come to Ohio State. And it's just going to become more obvious and more obvious. And to be honest with you, I think that really, really got solidified this year when Emeka Egbuka went in the first round. Because, shoot, you guys are Ohio State fans. Mech was never, dude's a star, dude is a stud, leader and all that. So what I'm about to say is not downgrading him in any way, but you guys know as Ohio State fans, he was never the number 1 receiver. You know what I mean? Like, one point in time, dude was number 3 receiver on the team. You know what I mean? And spent all of last year, Jeremiah Smith's on the team. Carnell Tate's got all these people on the team, and the dude still goes in the first round. I think that really solidifies things. Now it's looking like the sun is wanting to shine through the window right now and create a glare. Can you guys see a glare, or is it just me? Yeah, Elite Sports, Jameer Brown. He's like the number 8 player nationally in the 27 class. And, bruh, that dude, me and Jameer, we've talked a couple times. I met him at the OT7 event, met his family, amazing people. big time friend of the Buckeye boys. He'll be on here several more times. I also met Eric McFarland at the OT7 event. Dude is all Ohio State, FYI. And also, is he at 2027? I thought he was 2028. Eric McFarland. I think Eric McFarland's 2028. I could be wrong. Yeah, a freshman. Dude looks like he's ready to play college football right now. He don't look like no young receiver out there. He's good. Yeah, Lost Art said the glare isn't bad. Yeah, I know. Sorry about the glare, y'all. I don't know what to do. Let me see what this does. I feel like I'm just going to make it worse if I try to mess with it. So I'm going to leave it. You guys didn't come here to look at my face anyway. So we came here to watch another Buckeye be added to this roster, which is just getting insane at this point in time. Thanks, D. Appreciate you. Nice to see you in the chat. Yeah, he's 28. I'll tell you what, that Eric McFarland, he is focused, man. You know, it's not like I ran around with him all the time, but, you know, there for SFE, I drove all the guys around the van for a minute, went bowling with him and stuff, got to hang around him. He seems to be a very mature individual that got a good head on his shoulders, really focused at what he does. And again, I mean, SFE consider him like the number one receiver on there, and SFE has Tristan Keys, the number one receiver in this class. They had him on their team. Caden Dixon White. I mean, they're just absolutely loaded. Any updates on Cooper? Yeah, man, I actually talked to somebody very much in the know last night, and they do not feel like Ohio State is going to get him. They would love him too. But yeah, D, I had a conversation about that with Brett Getz, the owner of SFE, and talking about him potentially reclassifying. But, you know, he said the same thing. It's probably not going to happen. So, yeah, we'll see. Let me go over here and see if we got this. All right, let's do this here. I got too many things pulled up here. All right, do the old share screen. Let's get this pulled up right here. Share. I need to make it full screen. The sound is off. All right, guys, do you want yeah, for sure. Will Star, thanks for telling us that. Hey, if you guys are watching us on the Scoop channel, do something for me, man. Go over to our Buckeye Boys channel. That's Buckeye Boys with the Z. Go hit the subscription button, man. We're 3 subscriptions away from 5,000. And I don't know why, but I'm like itching to get to that 5,000 mark. I don't know. I wish there was something I could do, create some giveaway or something for the 5,000 subscription show, but I just don't know what to do. You guys got an idea? Like the Buckeye Boys would give away like $100, $200 gift card for some type of I don't know, trivia. That's like all you can do on here. It's not like we're gonna have an arm wrestling competition, see who wins $200, right? So again, up to you guys. Do you want when this thing hits 0, we got 20 seconds. Do you want me to hit unmute? And do we want to listen to the whole thing? Do you want me to unmute it only when Quay comes on? We want to listen to everything he's got to say. That was my plan. When he gets on the screen and starts talking, I was going to go over and unmute it, and we can all just sit here and listen to it. Yeah, the natural, I don't think we are either. Ravia Tube, I think that's how you say your name. Why do we need another 3-star receiver? Because Brian Hartline considers him a 5-star receiver. Brian Hartline is very, very high on this individual, and you trust 247 on 3 in rivals more than you do Brian Hartline. That's your prerogative. That's not my prerogative. So yeah, they're showing a couple of his highlights right now. Again, we expect good news. So, man, I don't know. I love, right, seeing recruitments like this. These recruitments are becoming so rare. The Devin Sanchez's, the Caden Dixon Wyatts, the Riley Pettijohns. They're becoming such a rare breed of recruits. And what I mean by that is they are literally focused on one thing and one thing only. And that is becoming better men and being the best football player they can be. Like, there's no outside noise there that they let get in the way. It's not strictly nil-driven recruitment, which, again, depends on what your, I don't know everybody's family situation. Sometimes maybe it is smart to take the bigger bag. I don't know. But if you have the opportunity to not take the bigger bag, but go to a place with a culture and brotherhood and development like Ohio State, I don't know. That's what I would want to be pushing towards. Here we go. We're going to hit the unmute button.
To announce the decision here. I know you come from a big family.
You guys can hear that, right?
How has your family helped shape the athlete and the person that you've become today? Oh, had you muted for a quick second there. Can you repeat that? How has your family helped shape you into the person you are today?
I said, really, everybody has their part, but my mom is the biggest one with her hard work every day. She's always working, so that's my biggest drive.
And you're right there at Traction AP. I know Dre Muhammad says he's worked with you since the 7th grade. Can you talk about Dre, Traction AP, and how they've shaped you into the person and athlete that is about to commit?
Traction is bigger than just training. It's like it develops you. Like they talk about your mental too. So Jay's my big brother, my mentor, my everything. So he helped me get to where I'm at.
You had a lot of great schools that you were choosing between. I know in the last couple of weeks too, it's been a tough decision down the stretch. Just how hard was it to get from, all those schools that had offered you down to a few, down to 2, and then now down to 1? How tough was that?
It was really tough. I had to really sit back and really look at everything. That's why I postponed my other day. But yes, sir.
Okay, so with that, we're ready to hear where you will be spending your college days. The floor is yours.
All right. For the next 3 to 4 years, I'll be taking my talents to the Ohio State.
Boom, baby. Heck yeah.
So, Jerquaden, you said you had to take a minute to make sure it was the right call. What are the things about Ohio State that made it the right decision for you?
Stats don't lie. Like, women lie, everybody lie, but stats don't lie. Like, they prove every year that they're wide receiver use, so I love to be a part of it, and I am a part of it.
I know you were very close to Buckeye wide receiver coach Brian Hartline. You even went back to camp last month and worked with him. What is it about Coach Hartline and Coach Day and that staff that made you say, I want to play for those guys?
They've seen the greats, and they are the greats themselves, so now they were going to get me to the place where I want to be, and that's the #1 draft pick or in the first round and be a golden jacket.
And now recruiting's done. It's July. You're heading towards the season. What are some of your goals for your senior year?
I have 1,500 yards and 13 tuds because we got a good offensive coordinator. So just really grind, just show what I can do at the opportunity that I'm given, and just take advantage of it.
And then last thing, once your senior year's done and you're headed to Ohio State, for all the Buckeye fans that are watching and the ones who are going to be watching this again later, what can they expect out of Jerquaden Guilford?
Consistent hard worker. I'm not really a big talker, but I do trash talk though. So I'm a trash talker and I'm gonna get to work.
All right, appreciate it, Quay. Thanks once again for joining us, and congratulations to you and your family on your Ohio State commitment.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's big time, man. Brian Hartline, again, what he is doing with the wide receiver room at Ohio State is just, man, it's I'm not quite sure you're ever going to see anything like it again. And, hey, if you're a defensive back as well, man, why are you not trying to come to Ohio State and face the best receiving core in the nation every day in practice? What do you think that's going to do to your game, right? If you want to be the best, what do you got to do? You have to beat the best. So, again, the trickling down effect of what Brian Hartline is doing in this room is absolutely amazing. And I'm here to tell you, man, take those rankings for this individual. And I know you guys hear me say that a lot. I just can't help myself when I watch the film and I ask around people. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I just think, you know, a lot of players, a lot of recruits, a lot of fans, they put too much value in those star rankings. Those star rankings are strictly opinions of a bunch of dudes in a room. It's like, hey, pick 10 of your best friends, okay? Everybody go watch film on 10 recruits and sit in a room and rank them from 1 to 10. Now, these guys doing that, they've been doing this for a while and watched it a couple times, but still, man, like, they can't get out and go watch all these recruits in person. They can't do it, right? So sometimes they might get film, practice film. Who knows how much time is invested? They might have watched a game when the recruit was sick or something, or you see how it works, man. Chris Henry Jr. was injured, didn't play for a minute, and just dropped all the way down. That doesn't make sense to me, because you went from the number 1 player in the nation to, I mean, dropping down pretty far because you're injured. So yeah, man, I encourage you, don't pay attention to that, man. Ohio State clearly values Guilford a lot, man. We already had 4 wide receiver commits and already a loaded room. Like, we have a stacked loaded room. So shoot, man, much respect to Guilford for wanting to come in here and compete, right? Wanting to come in here into this brotherhood, into the reigning national champs. I mean, Ohio State isn't for everybody. It's just not, man. Like, it's probably intimidating to a lot of recruits, right? You have some of these 5 stars and 4 stars that on their high school team, they're the star. They're the best player on their team. You show up to Ohio State for official visit as a 5-star in your freshman class, you are no longer the star. You're just not. Now, there are some, you know, exceptions there. You got the Jeremiah Smiths of the class, and, you know, the yet to be seen, but we kind of know Devin Sanchez he's gonna live up. He's not your average freshman coming into a class. He's just in it. The Lord has blessed him, you know, with just an amazing support group, amazing physical abilities, and he's just focused on what he needs to get done. So, absolutely, man. This is something to get excited about. I get excited about every recruit these days that chooses Ohio State over everybody else, because that decision in itself tells you a lot about the character of these young men, because we know Ohio State's approach to nil, right? It's not like they're not trying to rip people off. They're just following the rules, right? And they're doing it in a way to keep that brotherhood and that culture. They're doing it in a way to teach these players, right, about real life, to teach these players how to become successful men in today's society. You got to go get it. You got to go earn your worth. You show me. You think you deserve $1 million a year? You show up on that field and you do it. We're going to pay you $1 million. We're going to pay you what it is you deserve. We're going to give you that money, right? So, you know, again, I've said it before and I'll say it 1,000,000 times. If you're one of those people that want Ohio State to go out and spend that money, that's fine. We're all still rooting for Ohio State. I don't judge you. That's not what I want, because I am a believer that if we become that team, then we will lose that culture aspect that Ohio State has. That culture aspect that separates Ohio State from 99% of the teams in the nation. This isn't just an Ohio State fan base thing. The culture and the brotherhood that we talk about all the time, I'm here to tell you, it's not something that only Ohio State fans talk about. It's something that recruits all across the nation talk about. I mean, I'm at the OT7 event, and you hear guys talking like in the background about Ohio State and what they have going on inside of that locker room. I promise I'm not making that. I wouldn't make that up. That's a real thing. I heard it. Now, I'm sure there's other teams in the nation that have something similar to that, a very good culture, but I don't follow that team. I don't have inside information on them, so I can't speak on that. But you know, you look around, the biggest piece of evidence we have showing that this brotherhood and this culture that everybody speaks about is a fact, that it's true. The biggest piece of evidence is what we saw last year. Just to remind you that proves what everybody says, the brotherhood, the culture, all that about Ohio State, what we saw that team go through last year. I think we can all agree. Do we not all agree that if it wasn't for an extremely solid foundation of faith and brotherhood and culture last year, the Buckeyes don't go win a national title? You know, there was too much pain, too much hurt in that. And if that would have been a team absolutely full of worldly pride, what do you think would have happened when they lost the way they lost some of these games, man? You just get beat down, dude. Like, I've been that dude. I've been young and super prideful. And, you know, when my pride got hurt, man, I acted out. I did not make smart decisions. I did not dive in and grind and work harder. I stormed off and screamed and said everything under the sun and walked away. But that's not what we saw from our Buckeyes last year. We saw them, I mean, take yourself back to the Tennessee game real fast, man. That was some exciting stuff. You know what I mean? You know why that happened? The culture. You know why we have the culture that we do? Because the higher ups at Ohio State have one goal, and that's to raise successful men in today's society. And I truly believe, this is just an opinion of mine, I truly believe that the way that they handle nil, I think a big part of that is that right there. Because, man, the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil, right? What does that tell you about the love of money? That tells you the love of money is a very powerful emotion. I mean, it is, boy, ask yourself, man, like, how could money affect your life? If somebody said, hey, do this for $1 million, like, that's a very powerful emotion to have to deal with, right? And I'm not saying every recruit that chooses the money is a bad person or they're not going to succeed or anything. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it's just human nature, man, right? If your goal is to become famous and make a lot of money, and you're going into your freshman season in college and you haven't even stepped foot on the field yet, you haven't lifted one weight, you haven't caught one pass, you haven't made one tackle, and you have a lot of money and you're getting a lot of attention, it's just human nature to that drive is just kind of gone, man. Conor McGregor, look what happened to that joker. He got a lot of money. Dana White says it all the time. Man, he just got too much money to work hard and be a good fighter anymore in the UFC. That's just what it is, man. There's just no way around it. So, and again, I'm not saying that's with every recruit, man. You know, there's a lot of recruits that have like really solid support groups around them that are going to keep these guys focused. So, as you guys can tell, I'm a little bit passionate about that aspect of it. So, it's just, you know, like I said, the Lord has changed a lot of things in my life. He's, you know, gave me a new mind, a new heart and stuff. And I just know what those changes did in my life. And being on the other side of those changes, I can truly see now how certain decisions I made affected my life. And it wasn't good. But, hey, Buckeyes added another recruit to this class, Jerquaden Guilford, #1 player in Indiana, wide receiver that the Buckeyes value very, very high. And I'm going to go out and say it right now. I mean, chat, help me out. Like, Chris Henry Jr., absolute stud, right? Caden Dixon-Wyatt, absolute stud, right? Jaden Ricketts, a burner, fast as all get out. Brock Boyd, extremely, extremely productive in one of the harder competitive leagues in the state of Texas, like very productive, right? And then now we just added Jerquaden Guilford, which Brian Hartline, and we've heard through the grapevine that they consider him probably a #2 receiver in this class. So it's like, bro, look at these 5 receivers in this class. I mean, when have we signed a group of 5 receivers this talented before? Am I missing something? I know we've signed the Brandon Ennis, Carnell Tate. We've had some very solid, you know, wide receiver class. I think Kojo Antwi was in that class as well, if I remember correctly. But this is a very, very deep wide receiver class that the Buckeye has. So Man, I got a text message. The Buckeye Boys hit 5,000 subs. You guys are awesome. You really are. That's a big deal to me, man. That's exciting. I'm checking now. Yeah. Heck yeah. 5,003. Thank you guys so much. That's a big deal, man. Me and Mello, we do this because we love it. We do this for you guys, the chat, the family that we all get from this, spending time together, man. It's really cool. So appreciate that, man. It's kind of crazy, man. We're been doing this for about, Buckeye Boys is, I think, 11 months old now. 5,000 subscribers, so pretty big deal. We got some really cool things planned for you guys. Got some current players about to come on the Buckeye Boys channel, a couple walk-on wide receivers, and potentially a star defensive end on the Buckeyes. I don't know yet. We'll see if that happens or not, but I promise you guys, Brandon Ennis, it's not going to happen right now. Spoke with him, or the guy that spoke with him said he's just trying to focus on, this year, big season for him. So I don't blame him at all. You got to focus. So yeah, Lucia, Angelo, we're getting him on here. It's really hard to get, they got a lot going on, man. These recruits out here, boy, man, we sit back as fans and we follow their recruitment and we just have no idea. I do now because I talk to family and a little bit involved in it now. But before, I just had zero clue of the behind the scene aspect of the recruiting process and what it takes to get to that level. I mean, these dudes are training nonstop. And how do you think, right? So they're training nonstop. They're traveling all over the place to train all the time. They're still continuing with their high school team. They're doing this camp, that camp. Who do you think funds that? And who do you think takes these recruits to those events? They're family members, right? And mind you, the family members that also have to continue to pay the bills in the house, have to continue to keep up with their job that they have to continue to raise other siblings if they have siblings. Like, man, it's a lot, dude. Like, talking to these parents, talking to several of them, it's just, I have a newfound respect for the recruiting process, which is why, I don't cast judgment on anybody's situation unless I know like the steps that it took to get there. But man, keep that in mind, man. When you're going to like maybe say something about a recruit or what you think or something like that, keep that in mind. There's a lot behind the scenes that I promise you can't even, you can't fathom the amount of effort, energy, money, and time that it takes for a lot of these. So, yeah, appreciate you guys. Again, got a lot of cool interviews coming up, man. I'm very excited about it. We'll continue to update you guys on some recruiting news. We got Derek Cooper making a decision coming up. The Buckeyes stand a chance, right? But the information I am gathering is probably not going to happen. We got Deron Parks. I've seen people say he's FSU. It's going to be an FSU lock. I don't agree with that. I think the Buckeyes might pull that one out. Who else we got? We got Darius Gray. We're just in his top 5. I don't expect to get a commitment from him. Let's see. What else? Deuce Gerald's coming up. He's kind of a hard read there. I've spoke to him, been on the channel a couple times. Of course, we know he posted that Buckeye in the chat, but I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see there. I think something a little funny might be going on with, the Deuce Gerald's thing, but a lot of people will expect him to go to the Ducks. But again, I'm not worried about this recruiting class. I'm not worried about the defensive back class. We lost, who'd we lose? I forget his name already, but the Ohio guy, the Ohio safety that was committed to us. Too many names in my head. Everybody keeps bringing up Elbert Hill. I probably shouldn't tell you guys the information. I was on the phone with somebody earlier, and I was informed that USC, with what they got going on in their class, there might be some decommitments from there sometime soon. Matter of fact, I know there's going to be. maybe some defensive linemen, maybe defensive back, not named Albert Hill, by the way. So we'll see. But this Buckeye staff, I promise you, they're making some evaluations. As far as the defensive ends go, a couple names I've heard. Go check them out. Carter Goodwin committed to UCLA right now. And if you remember, we swooped Epi Centinelli from we got Epi. I never say his last name right, but we got Epi from UCLA last year. And now I believe the Buckeyes are waiting on some senior film from Carter Goodwin. So we'll see what happens there. And then Wydeck Collier, Rutgers commit. Dude is 6'7" with a 7-foot wingspan, runs a 4.5 40. Trying to look there. So we'll see. But again, I think there's going to be a lot of changes happening before signing day. So don't get your panties in a bundle. Thank you, Jeffrey Weatherspoon. Yeah, dude, I have so many names in my mind all the time. It's kind of wild, but yeah, we'll see what happens. These Buckeyes evaluating a couple in-state targets, a couple out-of-state targets on defensive end, defensive back, offensive line even. We'll see what happens. We got 21 commits now. I expect that number to get up to around 24, 25, 26, something like that. I still think that's going to happen. It's just going to happen a little bit differently than normal. Why? Because recruiting is a little bit different this year than normal, even different than last year. Things are just different. So we know. So, yep. Hey, appreciate you guys for the subscriptions. The Buckeye Boys got 5,000 subscribers now. That's great. I saw a hater in the chat earlier. Man, it's really hard not to engage with the trolls that come in the chat and just talk crap, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to call you out, but you know who you are. You're a hater, but I love you, bro. Appreciate you for giving me the view coming in here and hating. You probably hit the dislike button, but that's still fine. All right, y'all. Any questions? Anybody got anything else we want to talk about? I'm excited, man. Got Jerquaden Guilford added to this class. I mean, this is a ridiculously stacked wide receiver class. This is ridiculous, dude. I mean, the potential that all these guys have is absolutely wild. So, oh, you know what I'm going to do? Let's get the old, what do you call this? What do I do here when I ask the questions? I can't even think what that's called now. Chat? I mean, I think I need you guys to somebody just take over the show for me because I can't remember names. Trivia. Boom. Got it. Thanks, Russ. We'll see ya. Guys, I promise you, I'm not like that crazy. I mean, I kind of am a little bit, but I somehow run a company. If you guys can believe that or not, I somehow run, Lord willing, somehow a decently successful company. So that's how you know God's real. When somebody like me can do that, I tell you, it's Jesus, baby, all day long, every day. Here we go. Ooh, this is a good one. I would not know this. Okay, here we go. Who? Oh, we're doing trivia. I'm keeping track. The winner, whoever gets the most questions right, wins a ticket to the Washington game this year. You got to cover airfare and all that stuff. If you can't make it, I'll reimburse you for what I have in the ticket. My only stipulation is if I reimburse you that money, you got to spend it on an Ohio State ticket, and the Buckeye Boys need some videos or pictures or something. But here we go. Who was the first Ohio State coach to lead the Buckeyes to an undefeated, untied season? Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Heck yeah. Green Odd. Oh, is that Jim? Jim, did you change your name, dude? You'd be tricky like that. Oh, we're doing trivia. I forgot. No, No, it's not Brown. At least that's not what this book says. Steely didn't get it. No, the book does not say Paul Brown. It doesn't. Is the book wrong? Is the answer Paul Brown? I think we got a couple more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Steely, you got it with your second guess. Yep. I'm giving it to Steely anyway. Why? Because I got to go. I don't have time for another question. Congratulations, Steely. He just took the lead, man. He got it right. The answer is John Wilkes. Old John. The book is wrong. Dang, is it? Jason got it? Why does everybody keep telling me? Is it Jason? Oh, Russ. Russ got it. I'm all over the place today. You guys got to forgive me. Russ got it. I'm just going by what the book says. Yeah, Russ, you beat Steely. My bad, Steely. My bad, Russ. Steely still tied for the lead with 12. The Natural, you still have 12. Russ, you have 6 now. I apologize for that conundrum. Well, Russ says he was joking, but you wrote it in there and you got it right. So, all righty. Appreciate you guys, man. Add another wide receiver to class. Get excited about it. Be patient. This Ohio State staff knows exactly what they're doing. They're going to reevaluate some positions, and they know what's best for this team. If there is a position that is lacking with Ohio State recruiting, they will get it fixed. Ryan Day will not let it happen. We have an 89% blue chip ratio. Last year we had 90%. This year we got 89. That's tied for first. Last year we were number 1. So we're pretty good on the recruiting front. Okay. Like we're going to be just fine. So I'm not saying the transfer portal is the answer here. But you got that. You got senior seasons. It's not signing day yet. So there's a lot of things that can happen here. So we appreciate you guys for watching. Hit that like button, please. And if you already haven't hit the subscribe button, please hit that on both channels, Buckeye Boys as well. We hit 5,000 thanks to y'all on this show today. So got to do some special show for that. We'll get that figured out and get her done. But hey, on that note, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Go Buckeyes. OH.